Alright guys, you guys seen this machine on the channel before, so we're going to be doing some parts here. What up, Tim?
What's going on? We got some new A-Arms in here.
Wait a minute. You're not Tim.
Man, yeah, I am.
Give me my shit back, whoa, whoa. Give me my shit back. Get over
Don't
here.
be taking the pit
Give me
vipers.
this back. Alright guys, we are back. So, why don't you show them what's wrong with this thing first?
Alright, let's go do that.
Alright, so, let's see. Alright, so first off, you look right here. This looks pretty straight. Now, if we go over here to the other side.
This one's about as straight as Tim.
Straight as me! I'm about to quit. I am done.
You don't have to put up with this abuse.
No, but
Yeah,
this
you
one's
guys can
almost
see.
horseshoed.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, you
pretty
can see
bad.
this thing's bent severely.
And if you've seen some pictures and videos, Daniel goes pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, this is part of getting it squared away for the winter. And we got trips coming up, so we need this thing ready to go. So we got some...
Even that
A-Arms
one over
here.
here is, that one's even
That
bent a
one's a
little
little
bit.
iffy.
Yeah, that one's a little tweaked too.
A little iffy.
Alright, so let's get this unboxing done.
So we got some SuperATV A-Arms. I've been jumping with SuperATV parts on my razor, so they hold
Yeah,
up.
pretty much Tim's rocking most of his suspension stuff, SuperATV.
Yeah,
so.
almost all of it. I mean, I can't really complain. I don't really have anything to say.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
held
we
up
cut
well.
the lid off. It's held up really well. Get this out of here. Still can't see it. There you go. Oh wait, you still can't see it.
That's alright, let him box it up nice.
It's pretty boxed up.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. So. All right. Wow. Well, what's more?
So you said these are pre-assembled?
So on the side of the box it says pre-adjusted, so you don't have to. We're just cool like that. So what I take by that is these are adjustable. I don't know if the uppers are adjustable, the lowers are adjustable, but something is adjustable. I think it's normally the lower on a razor, but yeah. So this is probably the upper. So here's some greasable, adjustable ball joints. I don't know if these are the heavy duty or the chroma or the 300M. I don't remember which is which, but stand these up here. But that is an upper. This looks like a lower. So it's probably per side. This is one side, and the bottom half will be another side. Wow, you must have a ball joint in your spindle. You sure do. Okay. So when a ball joint goes bad, one's in a spindle and one's in an upper control arm. But those are stout. That's all gusseted right there. Right there above the shock. Yeah. The shock's all gusseted. No bushings. I might have the bushings in here. If not, you normally have to rob the bushings from your original set. Maybe not. I might be lying. But. Oh, I know what that is. That's the ball joints for the lower. No, it ain't. I don't know what it is. Spacers. Oh, bushings maybe? Ain't got that far yet.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well, there's some ball joints. And there's another ball joint, so those are your lowers.
Okay.
Nah, everything's packaged really good.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the problem is, man, shipping carriers don't really care about what's in the box. They just throw it around.
Yeah.
They just want it onto the next truck and get their job over with, but unfortunately when it shows up damaged, they're not the one that really has to deal with it.
Yeah. Or it shows up missing.
Or it shows up missing, I've had that.
Yeah, they want to give you $100.
Yeah. For your $800 parts.
Yeah. Oh, you have to buy the insurance. That's what I'm paying you guys for, so, so it arrives.
Alright, so we got one more here.
They look beefy.
For sure. Alright, well that's that. Nice. Look good. So we'll go ahead and get this cleaned up, and we'll show you them coming off and going back on. Alright, so we got them out, got the boxes cleaned up, but wanted to go ahead and point some things out. These are heavy duty 4340 chrome alloy ball joints. I think they have one ahead of that. Was it like 300M?
Yeah, yeah. But that's what Tim and I both have on our machine.
Yeah.
4340 is very good.
Yeah. And then these are lower ball joints that, like I said, look like they're pressed into the knuckle. I have never took the front end of a Talon apart, so you're doing this with me, basically. You're learning as we go. But the lower is adjustable, and that's what they say they already have adjusted. Other than that, I mean, they feel pretty heavy duty. All the welds look pretty good. I don't see nothing wrong with those. I've heard a lot of people complain in the past about welds and stuff, but I've had a lot of their stuff and I haven't seen anything wrong. So,
And even if it is, I mean, they have a lifetime warranty.
yeah, you can't mess up the. I mean, if you bend the tubing or something goes wrong, I'm pretty sure that's what's covered. Now the ball joints and the bushings and stuff like
that's
that,
not going to be cut.
that's
Wearable items, yeah.
You know, but everything else looks great. And I mean, if you guys watch or been around and seen what I've done with my machine, they've held up to everything. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong buying these just for the fact that the price point compared to a lot of other people is a lot cheaper, but it works.
Yeah.
So, if you guys are looking to be able to go ham on your
It's got to work better than these stock Hondas.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that's, if you look down there, so this is the tube, and this is technically like a shock mount gusset, so it's actually reinforcing this area right here.
Yeah.
And it's still
Still went through it. Yep.
But I mean, this thing was Evel Knievel jumping buses. I mean, this thing was in the air.
Yeah.
And it's come down hard in the nose a couple times.
Yeah, so if we do a review on this, and I mean, that's after a year. So we do a review in this in a year, and it looks, it's perfectly straight. You know that, the Super ATVs hold up way better than the stockers did.
And I think we might have had some shock problems that may have caused these shocks to bottom out when they normally wouldn't have, and I think that's what did this.
Could be.
Wouldn't you say, Daniel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think there's something up with the shocks right now. We're going to have them rebuilt before dune season, so that's what we're on to. We're trying to get this thing buttoned up, so we're going to go ahead and start ripping this thing apart, and we'll pull the A-arms off, and we'll set them up there and try to compare them. Like, we don't have a scale here today, unfortunately, so we can't really weigh them. But we can feel them out and tell you what we think is different,
Yeah.
So,
So we'll go ahead and do a time lapse on the one side. The other side, we'll go ahead and do. We'll do the time lapse first, and then we'll go ahead and do the other side. We'll show you guys step by step on that, and then we'll also compare them side by side, like Tim said. So
sounds good. Alright guys, so we got the uppers up here. You can see on this one, like, anytime you see paint flake around a weld, it's normally been stressed there.
Yeah, she's taking a hit.
Yeah, she's took a pretty good hit. So, there's right there's another big one. Oh, that's a real big one. See that crack right there?
Yep.
Let's dig that out. Oh yeah. That's another one right there. Yeah, no, all that is stress points, you know, that's when you can look at your suspension and you can just look around your machine, and if you see things like that that you can tell is not a rock chip, it's probably been stressed. Like right here, here's another big crack right there. Look right there. That's another big crack. That's a horrible crack right. The paint's cracked. It's not the weld cracked. It's paint.
Yeah, it's from flexing.
Yeah, it's from flex. So anytime metal moves, the paint doesn't like moving, and so it will crack right off. But no, I mean, but for 2,000 miles and this thing was a jumping animal. I mean, what can you really say? I mean,
yeah,
went longer than I thought it would on stock A-Arms.
Yeah,
but there is a big weight difference. The new one is way more beefy.
Yeah.
You can also see that
everything's thicker too, thicker and heavier duty.
well, yeah, but let's try to line it up here. I'm trying not to scratch it, but over here you just got this little baby bar.
Yeah.
Which is basically, to me, is this gusset they got in here. This is all reinforcing this, but this gusset will work as that. But then you have this crossbar, you have no crossbar, you have this crossbar, no crossbar. I mean, to be honest, it's a lot beefier. And I mean, look at, so this is like, I would call it like a bulkhead, but this is where the ball joint goes in and they weld that to the tube. I mean, this is all welded into a tube, but you can just see how much smaller it is, you know what I mean? It just looks chintzier. This is thick and then it steps down to thin. This is thin and then slowly tapers back up to it can tie into all the pipes and stuff. So, I don't know, I see a big benefit there. So, we got the lower two. Let's see. Oh, look at that lower right there. Let's see if we notice anything on these. The lower one's not really the one that takes
it doesn't take the hit because it don't have the shock on it.
Yeah, I know, the lower one looks good. So, and we can compare that to I think these are the same ones. Yeah. And there's a big weight difference here too. So you got two little tubes, two long tubes. You got big tube, long tubes. Another big like bulkhead mounting point for the ball joint. This is just a casted piece, you know. Casted is nowhere near as strong as a machined piece. So this being machined is going to be way stronger than this casted part here. So there's some, you know, things that I notice about them. One thing that is nice, if you had your ride height set higher and your lower control arms weren't adjustable, or you had your stock ones on there, your tires could pigeon toe in or out at the top or bottom. You know, as you lift up, it's probably going to bow it out at the top, if I remember correctly. Where with these, if you went higher, they're right here. If you went higher, you can just turn these out.
Yeah, the adjustable.
And that would then straighten out your tire again. You know, if it was like this, you could straighten it back out, or vice versa. But it's one thing that's nice about them. I have SuperATV upper and lower control arms on mine that are heavy duty. They're built just like these, basically, except for when
they don't have the adjustable part.
Yeah, I don't have the adjustable part. When I got mine, this is all that Silverback had in stock, so that's what we got, and we kept riding, but they had the parts we needed. So
gotcha.
That's where we're at with that. We're going to go ahead and
I know at quads they had them. They would always put the adjustable part over here. I imagine it's probably better to do two adjustments than it is to do the one. It's
well,
way
you
stronger.
would have one adjustable ball joint that would slide out, a hind joint.
Yep.
This is a lot stronger.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Anytime you can have two is probably better than one.
Yes. Yep.
So, two wives too.
Sure.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and We're going to go ahead and pull this knuckle off and try to pull out the ball joint and install the new one. And then this side's basically ready to go back together. Alright, so the factory A-arm bushings are a real pain to get out. It's got some snap rings in it that you can't just get regular snap ring pliers on. But SuperATV also offers a bushing kit that goes together like every other bushing on every other machine. 3 pieces, a center tube, and 2 outer pieces. So we're going to go ahead and just order that. So when that gets back here, or when it gets here, we'll go ahead and put it back together. Get Daniel out of the picture.
Daniel, what are you doing, man?
Danielle, stop it. All right. Anyways, it's another day. It's about, let's see, a week later.
Yeah, something like that.
About a week later. Pulled it back in here. Pulled it back apart to where we roughly were the last time, except for you seeing the A-arms out. We got our bushings. Check them out. SuperATV bushings. They sell these, and they will work in your stock A-arms and in their aftermarket A-arms, the heavy-duty A-arms. Basically, this is like my machine. If you remember when we did that, you got 3 pieces to each bushing.
Yeah, this is the way to do it. So if you guys are going to do A-arms, just go ahead and buy this kit, because the way that the Honda does it from the factory is just
and another thing, if something ever happened to these or happened to another Talon, Bronco's got a Talon, those A-arms, even though they're bent, they could still be used to get through the weekend or whatever. And Daniel's dad has a Talon. So basically, if we pull the bushings, they're no good. So right now they can still be used as spare backup parts.
Yeah.
We like having backups, but basically these just stuff in here like that, and then I'm going to grease it before I put it in, but this just goes through there and it's done.
Yeah.
So no more fighting it. Straightforward, pretty simple. So basically we're going to go ahead and pull this side back apart real quick, continue the time lapse over there, and then we'll show you step by step how to do it on the other side. Alright guys, so 10 millimeter, you can get your brake line bolt out of the way. Oh, you can go ahead and pull a caliper. I believe they're 17s. There's a little metal clips on the bottom of the factory A-arms. They're like just a little piece of bent wire, and your brake line is like just around them. Okay, so we can go ahead and get rid of the shock bolt, which is going to be a 17 again. A 17 box end wrench. Go ahead and pull your cutter key, cutter pin. I always replace these.
What size is that?
That should be 30.
Okay.
Yeah, 30. Got a washer here.
Okay.
Leave that. We got these 10s here. We don't have to We don't have to take those off. We'll just
Yeah, you're not putting them back on the new ones, so.
Yeah, those don't go back on the new ones. All right, so go ahead and pull your cotter pin and remove your bottom ball joint bottom ball joint nut. You got another cotter pin up here on the top one, and you got another one over here on the tie rod. Remove those, and then I'll tell you what to do there. All right, so 19 again.
Yeah, we went ahead and pulled all the cotter keys.
You can tell they just put that boot on there. It's still greasy. Where's that? And we got this side. I think it's a 14. Yeah, 14. Ratchet wrench. I'm going the right way. Alright, so this side should just pop up. I leave the nut on there so you don't damage it. Bottom it out to where the nut's flush with the tie rod.
What's that?
Well, there's the so normally you by shocking.
Yeah, shocking it falls
There you
apart.
go. Shocking it, it'll fall apart.
Yeah.
So
you get the tie rod off there, though.
No, I'm not gonna beat it too bad. You don't want to beat on it horribly, but normally you can hit the knuckle.
Yeah, just shock it a little
You can
bit.
hit the knuckle in a couple spots, and the ball joints will just come right apart. So, I'm gonna leave this for last. But you can go ahead and slide your axle out. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and remove these. You're going to need a 17 wrench, 17 socket again as well. Daniel, you want to run this wrench? And the lower one, oh, so the driver's side, I'll go ahead and tell you now because we time lapse that side. The driver's side back bolt right here goes through the floorboard. So
Yeah, I guess I could show them that real quick.
yeah, you can get a nut on, you can get a wrench on the back side by your feet pedal, and then this side you just run your socket.
Yep. Look at that. So you got it right there.
See how that one come apart like it's supposed to? Alright, so then the bottom one is a 17 wrench and socket as well. There's that one. Alright, so on the last ball joint, I don't know. They want to make things a little more complicated. So I'm going to go ahead and, I wasn't even going to show none of this, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
They who?
Honda
Yeah, okay.
made things a little more difficult.
Yeah.
Everything.
Just different than a razor.
Yeah, I mean, for sure different than a razor, but anyways, you can't really get this in a press. Not in mine, at least. And I have a ball joint press here, too. And it seems to work for every other ball joint, except for this one. So, needless to say, I cut the ball joint down.
Yeah, this is the side that we time lapse, so.
Right, so we time lapse this side, but basically cut the ball joint down, and I was able to get my press on there to press it out. And I'm going to do the same thing again, and
Yeah, you're not reusing them. They come with new ball joints.
well,
At least this, you know, if you buy them with them.
you can pay extra to have ball joints.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and install this ball joint, but I just wanted to tell you that this was a pain.
Yeah, they were.
And it was a lot quicker to just cut it off and press it out with the press. And then I don't even know if I was able to, I don't even remember, was I was able to use the press to get it back in? I wasn't.
You hit it with a hammer.
I knocked it back in with a socket and got it back in there. Luckily, and these don't even have a keeper. Like, these are just pressed in there, no keeper. This knuckle is very thin here, so you got to be very careful. This is pretty thick. This is pretty thin. This could break pretty easy.
Yeah.
New ball joint slides in the bottom, and it's got a snap ring that goes on the top. They're adjustable. They're greasable.
Yeah, I guess that kind of goes with the bushings. I would recommend getting all new ball joints. With them.
You might as well just change them out and be done with it. But
I couldn't imagine trying to salvage them.
this is an A-arm install. It's not really a ball joint install.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and swap this out, and then I'll show you going back together. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and put this upper A-arm in. Go ahead. Yep.
Should we try again, or?
Oh, you just gotta leave your purse at home.
Hit it with your purse, Daniel.
Alright guys, so we got the ball joint changed out. Make sure you take your two 17mm bolts and nuts. You can go ahead and slide them back through. I did notice that if the bolts are facing this way, slide in pretty easy.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do this yet. We're gonna go ahead and get the lower in. Alright, so we got the lower A-arm in. 2 bolts, 2 nuts, 17mm. Same thing here. So we're going to go ahead and get this spindle ready to go, and we'll show you that going back together. Grab your spindle, slide it over your axle. Daniel, you want to come hold up your shock? Line up your upper ball joint. Your washer that comes with the new ball joints will go on. Washer and nut again. You're gonna have to, well, we can go ahead and get the shock put back on it first.
Holds everything in place.
Yeah, if you don't have that on there, it'll just want to walk up, but. You want to slowly bring the jack down, Daniel? So all this is doing is putting pressure on the ball joint so that you can tighten them up. Just go slow. So now you get some tension on it. And this is a 19 ratchet wrench. So that is a nylon locking nut they give you. And that basically, it's got a cotter pin. Slide it through, bend it over, and that just makes it to where if it does come loose, it won't come off. Same thing with the top here. If you try to do this without a jack stand, your tie or your ball joint can just spin in the spindle, and by putting jack stand under it, gives it pressure, and it goes together real nice. Cotter pin. Use a wrench to bend it. There's that. Then your 14mm. You're gonna probably have to push down on it to add some pressure. Okay, now your cotter pin. Alright, so got that cotter pin in. I got a new one for the axle nut. So your washer, your big castle nut, your 30 millimeter, I believe.
Yep.
Yep.
Feels to spec.
Oh, Milwaukee is spot on.
Okay.
Like, they got torque specs down pat. Here's the new pin. There's that. Let's see. Go ahead and grab your brake caliper. You're going to have to remount the brake line. .17 millimeter. Okay, so now your two 10 millimeters. If you feel around here, right here is one. So then I believe on the back side, yeah, here's one on the back side. Alright, there's that. Now we got the shock bolt and nut, which is a 17 again. That. Go ahead and jack it up, Daniel. So just double check everything, make sure you got all your A-arm bolts. Your brake line's tied back up, your caliper's back on, your spindle's on. Yeah, and I think that's it, right?
I think so.
I think we're good here. These are your old ball joint bolts. Like I said with the ball joints, they were a little bit of a pain, but it was easier for me to just cut it off and then my ball joint.
Yeah, press them out from there, yeah.
So, I guess, you know, maybe down the road we could do a ball joint install, but we didn't really plan on doing that because the uppers already came installed, and I would have thought that the lower A-arms had ball joint installed as well, but the ball joint is in the spindle.
Yeah, it's in the spindle, so you can't control
nothing
that.
they could do about that.
Yep.
But other than that, it's back together. SuperATV High Clearance heavy duty A-arms. I mean, they look way beefier than the stock ones.
Yeah.
Like I said, you guys have seen my machine in lots of videos doing some stupid stuff, and they hold up. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's all I can say is they hold up. So why not run them?
Yep.
You know, I don't see anything wrong with them. So thanks for watching. You know, stick around. We got a lot more.
Hey, we got some big trips planned.
Yeah, they're coming quick.
Yep.
So shortly after this video, you'll be seeing us out on trips and stuff like that. So check us out on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. People on YouTube, you know, go check us out on Facebook. We're trying to do random giveaways.
Yep, we got one coming again here pretty soon.
When we get to certain subscriber counts, we're going to do more giveaways. So if you guys are there, you guys will see it right away. We're talking about it here. You guys won't really see much about it on YouTube, unfortunately. But if you guys are on social media, check it out, and you guys will see it even on Instagram. So yeah, but we really appreciate it, and thanks.
Got a slightly different line here. He's going to try to hit.